Coach, thank you so much for taking time out of your morning to join us. Better win for you personally, 2000 at the Cotton Bowl or 2003 in Austin, Texas?
Man, that's a tough one because both of them are so sweet. 2000, that was the first win. I think first bowl victory in about 15 years. So that was a great one. But anytime you go on the road though and go in a hostile environment and win, there's nothing like that either. So that's just too hard to pick.
Well, they're both great ones, Coach. And I was listening to you talk about the game earlier this week, and one of the things that you had the luxury of is Coach Broyles called you on Thursday night and just kind of reassured you, hey, you've been doing what you're doing. You guys are going to have a great game on Saturday. What would your message be to Coach Pittman heading into this high-octane game, a game that hasn't been played in Fayetteville since 2004? What's your message to Coach?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the preparation is so important, and so you just feel like they've had a good week. Everybody's going to be laser focused, and so as far as that part of it, you just want your players to focus on their job, and then as closer as you get to the game, the atmosphere is going to be so good. Because just remember, it wasn't too long ago, last year, COVID. It was one of the hardest things to me, just watching the game without the noise, without the band, the cheerleaders, the atmosphere, the passion. So all that's back. And so the players realize that. They know that. And so my message is, hey, you're ready to go. You got them ready. You turn them loose. And now, especially with the emotion, the passion, the fans are going to play every play with you. You turn it loose. And that's why this is one of the greatest games there is. And I think the first 5 minutes, are always very, very important, especially at home, because that's where the home field advantage comes in. I always felt like we were 3 to 7 points up when you're at home, and so you take advantage of that. And so I just know Coach Pittman from outside looking in. I know that they'll correct the special teams, they'll correct the things and fix up the things from the first game, and now you go put it on the field, and you just let that atmosphere take over. You're almost on automatic pilot, and that's the way you want your team. You've had great preparation, you're ready to go. Now it's on automatic pilot. Let's go. And even if you make a mistake, we're going 100 miles an hour.
Coach, one of my good friends, someone I officiate high school football with on Friday nights, is one of your former players, Sparky Hamilton, and he's always relaying one of your quotes: "Best days of your life." Man, it's the best days of your life. Why was that so important to you to express that to your team before big games, during practices? Because I can tell you this, it stuck with Sparky for a while. Why was that such an important message for you?
I love Sparky Hamilton.
Oh, he's great.
You know what's important about that to me is don't forget about this moment, because they go by so fast. And I always remember talking to the team, the very first team meeting. I'd ask the seniors to stand up, and you knew that, hey, this is important, so important to them because they only have about 3 months left. But now I asked the freshmen to stand up, and I would ask them, now, how long do you think it's going to be before you're a senior? You're going to be standing up as a senior. And, they'd have a look like, that's going to be forever before I'm a senior. And this is why we tell them, nuh-uh, it's the best days of your life because it is going by fast, and it will happen so fast. So you want to enjoy and take advantage of every moment. And so where I'd always would get them where the heat index during 2 days would be maybe 108, 110, and during stretch lines, they're hitting about that 10th practice, and I'd yell out, the best days of your life. And they're saying, yeah, right. And, but it's like Sparky, though, when you fast forward 10, 15 years afterwards, it truly was. It was truly the best days of their life. And so you just want them to enjoy the moment, embrace it, because it is the best days of your life.
Coach, this is Clay Henry. Can you take us back to maybe what you ever heard from Wilson Matthews about playing Texas, or maybe what somebody else told you that Wilson would say before those games?
Yeah. Wilson would always come to practice and set up on that little concrete cornerstone up there, with chair with Coach Broyles, and they'd watch practice. And, he would always say to me that, Texas is always going to have better athletes than you played. In their mindset in the Southwest Conference days, the TCU, Texas Tech, SMU, you always had respect for those teams, but there's Texas, would always have better, bigger, faster athletes. So you got to play smarter. You gotta be on point with your assignment, what you're supposed to do, and everybody held everybody accountable. The thing about Coach Matthews, the old Little Rock Central man, is he demanded physicality. He wanted to hit you in the mouth, and that was the mindset of, hey, they may be faster, they may be a little bigger, but we're going to hit them, and we're going to hit them for 60 minutes. And so, again, I just think the lessons that you learn from Coach Wilson Matthews and Coach Broyles is that physical mentality of being a smart team. You don't clip anybody. You don't hit anybody in the back. You don't hit anybody out of bounds. You don't let them block a punt or take a kickoff back. All those little things, the four don'ts in the kicking game, all of those things, to me, always, when you bring up Wilson Matthews and Frank Roy, that's the first thing I think about.
Coach Houston Nutt with us here on the Morning Rush. Coach, you had quite a dandy dual-threat quarterback in Matt Jones. Got a chance to talk with him earlier this week, and just what he could provide on the field when things broke down, when the defensive line crashed, and he was just able to make plays with his feet. Arkansas really hasn't had that guy until the guy that's suiting up for quarterback for the Razorbacks now, KJ Jefferson. What dynamic does he add to this football team, and how much is he going to have to use his legs tomorrow night?
Yeah, the thing about Matt Jones was always had ice water in his veins, and every defensive coordinator, from Joe Lee Dunn or anybody after the game, they would come to me and say, I didn't realize how fast Matt Jones was. The safeties would take a bad angle, bad step, and then he outruns them. And so the thing about KJ Jefferson, in today's world, you got to be able to extend the play. If a left tackle or right tackle, if he misses a block, and it's going to happen 3 or 4 times a game where somebody may miss somebody, that's where your quarterback, that's where your 12th man comes into play. And that's what Matt Jones had. So KJ, the biggest thing for him to me is you don't have to be Superman. Be yourself. But when you can use your legs, you can extend the play and adjust on the run, on the move. Man, it makes all the difference. It just gives a defensive coordinator a headache when they think they have everybody buttoned down and covered, and then you can still move the chains. And that's what Matt Jones always was able to do for us. He was able to move the chains, make things happen. But the biggest thing, I think, for a quarterback in a game like this, you always want to try to make a play, but what's important is know that there's a fine line. Hey, don't force it. It's okay to throw it to grandmother in the third row sometimes. Hey, let's just re-huddle. Let's get back on the line of scrimmage and let's go again. But you don't turn it over.
Coach, we were talking about Sparky a moment ago. He was from Lufkin, Texas, and you always recruited a great group from Texas. And when you had these games, what, from a coach's perspective, did it mean to you for them that, hey, maybe Texas had said, you're not good enough to go here, or they chose Arkansas over Texas? What did this game and this particular week mean to them personally, playing for Arkansas against the school, the flagship school in their home state?
Well, you hit on something that's really big. It's a great question because I live pretty close to Tony Bua, and I can tell you, he was not recruited. He was a Texas boy, but he moved to New Orleans. He didn't get recruited by LSU, and they have this mindset, okay? And they have this chip on their shoulder. Oh, you didn't recruit me? Okay, I'm going to show you. And that's how they go into the game. Texas didn't recruit me, and I had some unbelievable Texas players. When you go look at Fred Talley and Caleb Miller, Sparky Hamilton, you can go on and on. So many players made a difference. Chris Houston was another one that was from Austin, Texas. He was from Austin, Texas. You can bet how wound up and motivated he was because they didn't offer him. And so it goes a little deeper now with those guys. When they feel like they got slighted or they got overlooked, now's the time where they feel like I'm fixing to show the coaches on the other sideline what they missed. And so, but when you have that on top of some hungry Arkansas-raised young men, wow, watch out.
Coach, you've been a part of some incredible atmospheres inside of Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium, 99 against Tennessee, 06 against Tennessee. There's been some others mixed in there as well, 06 USC, kind of first half. When you look at tomorrow night, sold-out crowd, expanded stadium, really the first time that it'll be packed out since its expansion because of COVID this past year, how much of an effect are Razorback fans going to have on Hudson Card, Thompson, and that entire Texas offense tomorrow night?
I always feel like the home field advantage, when it's rocking, when it's right, and like it's going to be Saturday, I always felt like 3 to 7 points was the advantage for us at home. And I say that because when your fans come with this passion that they're going to have, and remember, as you hit on last year, there was nothing. It was so hard for me just watching games in New York studio without the noise level, without the band, without the cheerleaders and all that excitement. So now when you fast forward to this Saturday night, you have that. I expect the fans to play every play. That'd be my message to them. Hey, don't just come to watch now. You've had a year off. You've had a year to really, store some energy up. So let's come to participate, and let's make it extremely hard. I've seen that stadium make it very, very hard on the opponent. Very hard. You can ask Tommy Tuberville. You can ask Nick Saban. You can ask any coach in the SEC that's come to Fayetteville, come to Little Rock, and they'll tell you very, very difficult. And that's when the fans are at a very high level. They're calling those halls with enthusiasm, with passion. And I expect the fans to play every single play and to be a participant and to be a difference maker.
So, Coach, you kind of just gave a message to fans. I want to close you down with this. Prior to Arkansas playing number 1 Alabama, we had you on, and you gave what I thought was a fantastic, impromptu, off-the-cuff pregame speech. Let's say you're sitting in front of this team tomorrow night. What is your final message to them before they step foot in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium?
Yeah. You don't have to say much this week because they realize it's a big game. It's Texas. And so my biggest message would be, hey, these are the best days of your life. And there's going to be a lot of brothers and sisters and mothers and uncles and grandmothers and granddads. They're all eyes are on you. And so what's important is you do your best. You turn it loose. You turn it loose every single play. We can live with whatever happens as long as you're giving Razorback effort each play. It's going to come down to 3 or 4 plays, and we don't know which 3 or 4 plays will be the difference. But as long as you have that thing on full throttle, you can be a difference maker. So let's go out there and let's go and let's lay it on the line. And to me, that's what it's all about, because these are truly the best days of your life. Let's go.
Best days of your life. Coach, we appreciate your time this morning. I don't think there's anyone that probably has been in that chair that understands the passion and what it means better than you. And you've been gracious with your time this morning. We appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all having me. Thank you.
Hey, Coach, I haven't been in the locker room with you, but I've been out there on that practice field, and I've seen you call them up in a circle. And, I sneak forward, and I want to tell you there's been many and many a time that I've wanted to reach and grab one of those helmets and get on that bus and go with you. So, Coach.
I hear you, Clay. I hear you. That's what you miss the most right there. It's
That's it, baby.
Those relationships and getting everybody ready to go, all pulling in the same direction.
You were the best, I'm telling you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Coach, enjoy the weekend.
Thank you. Going to.
All right. Former Razorback coach Houston Nutt with us here on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Williams Tractor. They're in Fayetteville, Berryville, also Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas, and Rogers. Hey, they got simple, tough, affordable options when it comes to quality bales in a wide range of conditions. The perfect choices for smaller livestock farms, sundowners, and rural lifestylers. Williams Tractor can help you choose from 3 different models by New Holland. Ones that make 4x4 bales and 2s that make 4x5 bales. Plus 0% financing or cash discounts right now. The RF Series round balers by New Holland. They're available at Williams Tractor, Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas.
You can tell the passion hasn't left it.
Nope.
Left him, has it?
Not a bit.
So,
Best days of your life.
Yeah, he's still got it. Now, I think, Clay, I don't think you've met my father, but Tommy has. My dad is the most clean-cut, follow the law individual, and he just sent me and my brother a text of a Texas truck with the Texas Longhorn and the Nike sign, all that jazz. And he said, how much for me to spray paint this truck? He hates Texas, too, because he's a Baylor alum, and he feels like that they always get the short end of the stick, or like Arkansas fans similar do. But Texas, just for some reason, not just with Arkansas, with Oklahoma, lots of members of the Big 12, the old Southwest Conference, there is something that school, that logo, that fan base brings out of fans that I don't know if anyone else in the country does, to be honest. We got an Iowa fan that just walked by. Y'all going to beat Iowa State this weekend? Y'all going to beat Iowa State this weekend? Oh, yeah. Big time. We got a big conference going on here right beside us, and he saw our ESPN logo, so I guess he's probably not going to be making his way to Ames.
No, he didn't. But he didn't mind the horns down logo. We got
he liked
on
that.
location,
and that's an Iowa fan.
Yeah.
I don't know what conflicts Iowa has with Texas, but that is just a universally hated logo outside of Austin.
Yeah, Iowa State may have a few, but I don't know about Iowa.
Just tell your dad to key that truck.
Key it. Even make it simple, Pops. Just key the truck. Don't even spray
eggs. Eggs handy. That might be one.
It's
thing.
that time of the year again, and all eyes are now turning to football as teams are back on the gridiron to start the football season. As always, BetOnline is your #1 spot for all of the pro and college football action this season. Get all of the updated odds, props, and contests, including the online's biggest $500,000 NFL mega contest, the world's largest 200,000 NFL Survivor contest, open now at BetOnline. Here's what you have to do. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 100% welcome bonus. Take advantage of their opening day super promo. Make a bet on the Thursday, September 9th season opener between the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. And if you lose, your wager's going to be refunded for up to $25 for new customers only when signing up and using the promo code NFL100. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts.